My question is, do you think the Imperial Japan and Japanese forces acted based on Odo or Hado? And also, do you think the Class A war criminals, such as Hideki Tojo, were innocent or not? That's it.
Yes, it's a very difficult question, which also I'm asking to myself always. And here we are thinking in a very long span, the history of Japan and history of East Asia and history of the world itself. And in the long history of Japan, which is more than 1,000 and several hundreds, it's not the case that we always be conscious of Odo policy. And of course, we had a very, turbulent period in a history called Sengoku Jidai. But after the Sengoku Jidai, mostly in 16th century, we had a very long period of peaceful time called Edo Jidai. And then we joined into the modern international world. And that was a very big incident for Japanese history. One of the very famous thinker at that time, Fukuzawa Yukichi, wrote in his book that from now on, we are going into the world of war and commerce. War and commerce are both very dangerous factors for the newcomers. It can spoil the whole world, whole land. So we have to be very careful about that. And then Japan had to make itself stronger, both in economics and in armies. And for about 80 years, Japan tried hard to make itself stronger and stronger, learning a lot from European and American countries. And you asked about such era, I think, Dai Nippon Teikoku Kenpo and Dai Nippon Teikoku Army. And at that time, too, there were the stream of spiritual pacifism throughout the history of Japan. And mostly it was held by the royal family. The royal family always thought about the spiritual pacifism. There's a very famous short poem by Meiji Tenno, which says, Minahara kara to omou yo ni nado namikaze no tachisawagu ran. I think that all this country is brothers, but why this turbulent was the meaning of the short poem. And as you know, we had a very modern constitution in Meiji era too. And Tenno could not say no to their parliament and the government. So if they decide to fight, Tenno could not say no. That was very typical of modern constitution. But still, there was a trace and a stream of spiritual pacifism. And it's very interesting that after we have been defeated by war, by United Nations in World War II, there was a rush of pacifism in Japan. And some people, accuse it as it's only we were defeated and we forgot our own pride. Some people say that. And maybe there is such a side. But maybe there is a sort of stream. Always, affecting the mind of Japanese people, I think. And you are also asking about our Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister Tojo, war responsibility. About this concept, war responsibility, we should be very careful to use because it is just an international, concept of international laws, which is which has many doubtful sides. And here I don't have enough time to make lectures about how the concept of war responsibility has arisen after the First World War. But I would recommend to read Professor Onuma Yasaki's the essays on war responsibility. And he describes very minutely how it has been made and how it has been made not considering what the winners did. That was made as some concept to condemn only the losers. And Professor Onuma Yasaki, very minutely reported in his book how it has been made. So I'll just point out that we should be very careful to when we use the word war responsibility and the war crime. And of course, there are some international laws which are valid throughout the wartime called Hague Pact. And it's true that we should act according to the law, even in the middle of war. That is true. But in order to apply the concept of war guilt, we have to be very careful. That is only what I can say.